Welcome to Gaia's Love, a podcast of brief messages to help humanity bridge the gap to the new earth. My name is Vivienne Gerard. It is my delight to be a scribe for consciousness today, sharing the wisdom that flows through from Source. Here we go. Episode 194. It is Wednesday today. I had a moment where I couldn't remember what day it was, but it's Wednesday. Here in Cincinnati, it's warming up. The skies are going between blue and cloudy, so I'm not quite sure if we're going to get a little rain later. But everything is still green and gorgeous. So it's almost impossible to choose which pictures to post because there are so many flowers that are blooming, and my garden is just... Our garden is just gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous. So it's hard to pick, which one to use. If you have not been outside walking this week yet and you live anywhere in an area that is spring and blooming, please take some time and go look at the flowers, because it's the most incredible time to be outside and to marvel at this planet and the way that plants rejuvenate and come out of the ground from nothing and bring us these beautiful flowers. It's absolutely magical. So find a park or a garden or a neighborhood and go for a walk. Sometimes it's even better in the rain. You can put your umbrella up and bundle up a little bit and then just see the magic of water landing on all the flowers and everything sparkling. So beautiful. So beautiful. So today I am preparing to go out of town for the night, see a beautiful friend of mine, have some chat time. So I will not be doing a podcast tomorrow. I think I suggested yesterday go back and listen to some past ones. If you've missed a couple or a lot, pick one and just see what title catches your attention and know that it will be exactly what you need tomorrow. And then we'll come back together on Friday. Okay, so today, it's funny when a word starts to come forward as a theme for the week, I find that my mind wants to manipulate the titles so that I can keep the word or the theme going. And so in my meditation, really this morning when I woke up even, I was thinking about the word choice. I'm like, I wonder what kind of choice we're going to look at today. And then in my meditation, I was like going through all these different kinds of choices. And muscle testing at the same time and getting no. So at the end of my meditation, I still didn't have a title and I wasn't sure what it was we were going to be looking at. And so I just sat here for a moment going, I give up. Are there words? What are we going to do? And then I just felt, or I don't know how you experience energy or awareness, but for me, it's a feeling, and sometimes it's literally like a word that I hear in my ears or that I see as a visual word in my mind's eye with my eyes closed. And I saw the word silent, and I was like, I'm going to be silent? This is how my meditation time goes. I'm going to be silent. I'm just going to sit in silence. Is that what today's podcast is? And then I heard or felt like silent choices. So then I had to sit for a few more minutes because I was just trying to figure out what? What do you mean? What do you mean silent choices? It's so funny how our soul speaks to us and guides us and wants to get our attention. And so the word silent is perfect. Here's the rambling way that I got to that. One of the titles that I was playing with was stillness. How we can find our clarity about a choice to make when we are still. And I talked about this in the Eye of the Hurricane podcast when I was talking about Hamilton. When there's just a lot of activity moving around us, sometimes we need to create a little pocket of time to be still. And in that stillness, we can feel what what choice is going to serve us the best or be in the highest alignment for us. And so I was really thinking like stillness. And I was thinking about the song by Head and the Heart called "Choose to Be Still," or Let's Just Be Still. And they say that the world's spinning so fast, you need to choose to be still, or you're just going to miss the whole adventure of it. And so all of that somehow brought me to silent. I guess because I was silenced, my mind shut itself down until I got the word. So what is there to know about silent choices? What feels most clear to me is that a lot of times we will talk about a choice that we're making. We'll talk about which direction we're going next. We'll talk about all these things that we are calling in for ourselves. There's all this activation in the throat, speaking. And yet, when we are doing that, sometimes we're so busy with the speaking that we don't receive into our throat chakra through the listening. We don't exchange the energy. We're just sending the energy out. We're talking about it. When we're silent, when we close our mouths, the other part of our throat chakra can be activated, which are the ears. And so we can receive information into our awareness. We can bring in clarity by listening. Sometimes that's through listening to what others are wanting to share with us. So for example, if we're about to make a choice that involves other people, when we're just, what is it called? Verbal diarrhea. When we're just blah, 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 and trying to defend what we're choosing to do and explain and justify and reason and override other people with talking about our choices. We don't always receive the wisdom that's available when others reflect back to us about how that would affect a co-creation. So let's see if there's an example. An example. What would a good one be? I guess when someone is inventing something, let me see if I can come up with an example from my life. Oh, a perfect one. This is a perfect one. Shit. I can't believe we're going to talk about this one. Okay. Apparently this is what we're going to look at. Oh, shit. So, my soul is humbling me right now. So on Sunday, when I don't think I shared this. I know I talked about Sunday on Mother's Day, but I don't remember that I shared this. We were hanging out in the kitchen doing all this work. One of the things I had chosen to do was to take some strawberries. I really can't believe this is what we're going to talk about. Okay, I had bought extra strawberries. We had bought extra strawberries at the grocery store because we were going to freeze some of them for smoothies because they were an incredibly inexpensive price because there must be an abundance of strawberries at Kroger's because that's where strawberries grow, is in Kroger's grocery department. So I'd washed them while everyone else was cooking different parts of our meal. I'd washed them. I was cutting them into pieces to be able to freeze. And so my mom and I were sitting. I don't think I shared this. Well, if it's a duplicate, sorry, but I don't think I shared it because it was kind of humbling. So Mom and I were sitting putting the strawberries into little baggies because that was what I thought would be the most efficient way for smoothies to be made, is to grab a little baggie of strawberries and put them into a smoothie, and that way everything is portioned out and sized and they don't stick together, because sometimes in the freezer things stick together and then you can't quite unhook them and connect them and you get more strawberries than you want, or they jam the smoothie maker, there's all kinds of complications. So Mom and I are sitting at the table putting strawberries into baggies, and my mom is trying to tell me that there's a better way to do it. And I, in my wisdom, have already made my mind up that this is the way we're going to do it. And we're just going to get it done. We're going to do it now because we're about to eat lunch. So my sweet mom is telling me a better way to do it. And I'm like, we'll just keep doing it like this. So my daughter on the other side of me, I mean, it literally was like a line. Mom on my left, me in the middle, my daughter on my right. My daughter says, Mom, listen to her. She's trying to school you. And I was like, it's fine. We're doing this. It's all fine. Over strawberries in baggies. So my daughter says, you're wasting plastic. Don't do that. Like, stop what you're doing. And I'm looking at her and I'm looking at my mom, and all I want to do is just get the freaking strawberries into the freezer. And so my daughter says, think of your grandchildren. I was like, oh, shit. Like, she's really serious. Uh-oh. So I turned to my mom, who's very calmly just putting them in baggies as I'd asked her to do. And I said, no, we need to stop. We need to stop right now. Like, we need to stop what we're doing and do it a different way. So my mom proceeds to show me. Oh, God. My mom proceeds to show me how you can spread the strawberries out so they're not actually touching on a tray, and then put them in the freezer, let them freeze for 3 or 4 hours, pull them out, and put all of them in baggies already frozen, into a big baggie already frozen. So you basically use one baggie or one container instead of, 15 or 20 of these small little plastic baggies. So I'm totally humbled in front of the whole family because my daughter and my mom are much wiser than I am. And I'm just trying to rush through and do something that would have been inefficient and bad for the environment. Fine, there you go. There's the example of a silent choice of listening, receiving wisdom instead of believing that our way is the right way and we know the best way and we have the answers to everything. Yeah. It was not one of my finest moments. I was definitely rushing, trying to get something done. Anyway, I am laughing very, very lovingly at myself for how egoic I can be at times. Anyway, so that's an example. So it's a small one, but the awareness is the same. When we are so certain that we know what's best and we're going to do it the way we believe is of the highest alignment for all of those around us, and we just commit to doing that, and we don't close our mouths and listen. As my daughter said, if we're not willing to be schooled to learn from others around us, we miss the opportunity to co-create something greater. And that's just one tiny example, but think about if I had continued to always freeze strawberries this way, how many baggies I might use. Oh, this is such a fun example. How many baggies I might use in a year or in 5 years that are unnecessary, right? And that's what my daughter was trying to show me. Think longer term. You're looking for this immediate solution right here, right now. Think longer. Broaden your perspective. Literally take it from the generation on my left with my mother all the way through to the generation on the other side of my daughter, her children. Think wider, longer, bigger. Expand out. So silent choices, apparently from what my soul is wanting to share, silent choices are about using both aspects of your throat chakra, not just talking your choices out, but listening and informing your choices with wisdom from others around you. With sometimes that wisdom is not from the physical. Sometimes it's us listening to our guides, like me sitting here hearing my soul say, yeah, you're going to talk about strawberries and baggies. Oh, right? Like sometimes what we're listening to is guidance from from energy, from source, from souls, from the unseen. And when we're talking, we can't listen, we can't hear, we can't access that other realm, that other dimension. But it's not even dimension, because those energies are right by our ears, right in our ears, right inside of our minds, right inside of our hearts and our bodies. That wisdom, it's an intuitive knowing inside of us. But when we're verbally just chatting the whole time, we aren't able to access that wisdom. The other, and I would also add, when we are listening in our throat chakras, we can also hear, feel intuitively what our bodies want us to know. Because when the mouth is talking, the mind and the mouth are so busy that we're not always allowing the body to be a part of that. So when we close our mouths and we just listen, we can feel our bodies, and then that is an energy that also guides our choices. I don't know if you've ever been in this position, but so many times in the past, and not as often now, I would hear myself saying, sure, I'll do that. Of course, yeah, I'll help with that project. I'll take the lead on that. I can do that. I can fit that in my schedule. And my whole body, at the moment my mouth was saying yes, my whole body was going, oh no, don't, no. Right? But the mouth is like, absolutely, no problem. And the body's completely locked up. The heart's beating fast, the mouth is dry, the throat wants to throw up, like everything is just going no. And the mouth is going, yes. When we are silent for a moment, and sometimes that's all it takes is a moment, right? That's all it took with my daughter and I. It was her saying, think about your grandchildren. And I just paused. And in that moment, I could feel, oh my gosh, she's right. Like, that's a lot of plastic baggies. That simple pause allows for a choice to be different. Right? So think about when you're about to say yes and your whole body is saying no. And you're in that moment, and the person or whatever the situation is has just asked you the question. And your mind and your head, your ego, your mouth is like, right? You're about to say yes. Close your mouth for a moment and go, let me just think for a second. Let me look at my schedule. Give me a moment to consider what you're asking. And in that pause, you feel what your body wants to express. And if your entire body is saying no, bad idea, don't raise your hand. Do not be Hermione from Harry Potter. No. If that's what your whole system is saying, give yourself the space, the pause with that person or situation to say, I really need time to think about that. My initial reaction is, I'm not sure that's going to work, but let me think about it. Let me go look at my schedule and see if that's possible. Instead of just automatically saying yes and jumping in, give yourself the pause. That one moment of a silent choice to listen to your body, to stop your mouth from saying yes when your ears, your body, everything is saying no. It can change how you experience life. Because then instead of overcommitting and running and being so busy, you can create more of that stillness. When we are willing to sit in stillness, to honor those silent choices and be really quiet, we become the creators. Instead of jumping into everyone else's projects and creations and deadlines and activities and expectations, their stuff they're creating, when we pull our energy in and we have these moments of quiet, we start to create what we want to be doing in this lifetime. Our soul can say to each of us individually, here's the thing that you came here to do and to be. Say yes to that. How do you create more time for that? So Yeah. Apparently there's a lot to say about silent choices. The other little nugget I'll just add is I had a flash of the image. I don't remember really watching these, but silent movies. Silent movies were all about having an experience, I would imagine, because I haven't seen them actually in a theater. But I would imagine when you go into a theater and there's no sound, just try to picture what that would be like in our world today with surround sound and Dolby this and speakers under your chairs and in everything. If you were to sit in a theater with no sound and you're watching a movie on screen and everything is through their facial expression and the movements of their hands, and you would be reading the energy, you would be interpreting in your own way what you're seeing in front of you. You would be the creator with that movie of what your experience of it is. How are you interpreting that? And then what it brings through you is your own enjoyment of it. And then the co-creation of everyone in the audience laughing or crying or thinking it was funny right along with you. So imagine that if we were to allow ourselves more silent choices, less talking, more intuitively listening, really hearing from inside ourselves, from the reflections of those we trust and love around us. Maybe even through music. That's one of my favorite ways to have a silent choice be confirmed. I'll be feeling or thinking something already, and then I'll ask shuffle on my phone. I'll just go to my songs and I'll hit shuffle and I'll say, show me what I need to know. And a song will start playing, and the lyrics, the title, the vibration, the music, every drop of that gift of sound validates my choice, guides me into the next choice. So let's listen more, and it's funny for me to be saying this on a podcast. Let's talk less. let's talk less and listen more, and then honor the silent choices that our soul is guiding us into. So good. I'm off to play. I will be back on Friday. Thank you for tuning into this vibration of pure love. I invite you to join me in aligning with the optimal health of your mind, body, spirit in the virtual community of Viv's Energy Gym. You can learn more at mysouljourney.com. Let's take this message of Gaia's love out into all of our relationships and communities today. So much love from my heart to yours.